So Mikoto is a little bit of a wild card currently. Last trial, we did vote not forgive for him. One of the gray areas that I was considering about forgiving, but at the same time, it's a little bit weird, right? As far as I know, he has some kind of personality disorder or something similar to that. I feel bad because his nice personality is someone that I feel like I will like, but then obviously he switched out and become more violent. And then we find out that Milgram has some kind of loopholes when it comes to him. He did become violent with S, so I don't really know how S feels right now. I feel like us as S, pretty traumatic experience. We were getting choked out. And that's because I feel like the rule about Milgram is, I forgot, it's something along the lines of the mind, or because Mikoto as him can't punch or do anything to S, and then when he switches to the other personality, then that's when it gets enabled. I don't know if they fix that for this trial. Mikoto right now is someone that I will probably, like I'm being biased, but I'll probably lean towards not forgive. But we'll definitely find out more about his history, his past, his crimes. Trial 1 music video kind of showed a lot of that already, but I don't know if that's the real reason why he's here, because I do feel like a lot of the crimes that he's been doing is very like something that didn't affect him. But I don't know if that's just like how it is. I know Futa is kind of like that. I know Kotoko is kind of like that. It seems like it's not directly associated with him, but unless we just don't know the whole story, like we did see some violence in his story, but nothing along the lines of like he's directly involved, or it seems just like a random act of violence. Who knows? But I'm pretty excited. Mikoto, I would say he's like in the bottom of my favorites. He's definitely not one of my favorite characters, but who knows, that might change today. That might change with this video. Thank you guys for being patient. With Father's Day happening, 4th of July happening, a lot of things are happening, and my free time is kind of dwindling down. But I promise I will be doing the interrogation questions. I still owe you like 3, and then this is gonna be the last one, so the 4th one after Kotoko, but I might have the other 3 before that, or maybe like 1 or 2. I'll definitely catch up. I do want to watch those before I have my final verdict, because who knows, that might change certain people's verdicts. I'll probably have a review on like the verdict and reaction of what I think about the final verdict from you guys, and yeah. Anyways, let's watch the video. This one is titled Neoplasm. I wonder what that means. Alright. Alright, let's go.
Mikoto.
Oh. Yeah, Kanshi-kun.
お前、Mikoto だよな。
何言ってんの？なんか久しぶりな気がするな。元気してた？
Oh, he's tied up.
なんだ？鎖？やだな、外してよ。
却下。お前は危険すぎる。物理的な拘束は必須だ。
こんな人畜無害な人を捕まえて何言ってんの？
やはり自覚がないんだな。
いや、さすがにわかるよ。僕は寝てる間に暴れちゃうんでしょ。みんなが教えてくれた。琴ちゃんとドンパチやらかしたとかさ。
そうらしいな。
無遊病的な、そういうやつなのかな。
See, it makes me wonder about his condition, because it's one of those things where he didn't even realize he had this until he's in Milgram. Like this, at least like this version of him. But I wonder if the other side of him like eliminates or like intimidates the like his friends, like this personality's friends, to where they don't even get to like say anything. I don't know. Weird.
最近眠くなる頻度も高くなっちゃって。いやー、困っちゃうよね。
Mikoto。
みんな僕を怖がってる。態度見たらわかるんだ。空気読めちゃうから、僕。嫌になっちゃうよね。ここに来てからずーっとわけわかんないよ。
お前は本当に苦しい時に笑うんだな。
え？
怒ったり叫んだりしないんだ。困ったように笑
いや、そうだね。僕そういうとこあるかもね。大抵笑ってごまかしてりゃうまくいくじゃん。そういうとこ器用だからさ、それなりにこなしてさ。
う。そうか。
でも終わらないんだよね。ここじゃ身に覚えのないことでずっとイラつく思いをしなきゃいけね
出たな。
え。おう、まだボコられ足りねえみてえじゃん、看守のガキ。
Oh. What? Sorry, I had to like go back because I'm just like, when did things kind of change?
いや、そうだね。僕そういうとこあるかもね。大抵笑ってごまかしてりゃうまくいくじゃん。そういうとこ器用だからさ、それなりにこなしてさ。
そうか。
でも終わらないんだよね。ここじゃ身に覚えのないことでずっとイラつく思いをしなきゃいけね
出たな。
え。おう、まだボコられ足りねえ。
Okay, so I guess it just changes. Dude, I honestly forgot how Mikoto's trial 1 happened because he keeps saying something about falling asleep. So I was just like, is that how it worked before? But I guess it's just like it's like a shift, right? He did say that he's been sleeping a lot recently, so I guess like the other side of him is just taking over, like taking over his body more and more, right?
みてえじゃん、看守のガキ。あ、ビビってんのかよ。
ことこにやられたくせに。
ありゃ不意をつかれただけだ。お前が寝てる間にやり合ったが別に負けてねえ。
多重人格。今喋っているお前はミコトの別人格という理解でいいか？
まあそうなんじゃねえか。
そうか。お前のことは何と呼べばいい？
あ、ずいぶん普通に受け入れるじゃねえか。多重人格なんて眉唾もんだろ。
ああ、僕もそんなものが実際にあるとは思わなかった。
だよな。俺もそれが俺でなきゃ信じねえよ。人殺しが罪を逃れるための嘘だとしか思わね
え。だがミルグラムがお前をそうだと認めている。僕は事実として受け入れ考えを進めるだけだ。で、何と呼べばいいんだ？名前。
知らねえよ、そんなの。好きに呼べや。
お前を便宜上ジョンと呼ぶ。
犬みてえな名前だな。
身元不明の人物を指すジョン・ドゥから来ている。気に入ったか？
知識ひけらかしてるみたいでいけすかね
え。しかし今日は随分と落ち着いている方じゃないか。僕はお前を怪物みたいなものだと思っていたぞ。ここまで話が通じると思わなかった。
調子のんじゃねえ。この鎖さえなかったら今頃顔面潰れてんぞガキ。
おお、怖い怖い。ジョン、お前はミルグラムの囚人ではない。ミルグラムの拘束が効果を発揮しないのが何よりの証拠だ。ミルグラムはミコトを囚人と判定し、別の人格であるお前は例外。
See, that's an interesting thought to me. It makes me really curious about like Milgram in general, right? Like, how did they choose that? Was like this John alter ego of Mikoto like just not present, or is it not in like a file? Is it is Milgram just not aware? Obviously, if S is not aware, I'm guessing Milgram is not aware. But I'm surprised there's like this, I don't know, like loophole, I guess that's happening. I don't know. I'm curious as well. I'm not surprised in a negative way, but I'm just like, oh wow, like how are they gonna handle this, right?
となっている。
ああ、なるほどね。それでお前の中で多重人格が確定してるわけか。
だから今日はお前を重要参考人として話を聞ければと考えた。まともに話ができそうで何よりだ。
だけどな、これはいいことじゃねえぞ。多分。
どういうことだ。
僕が消えようとしているかもしれない。
Oh. Oh, like Mikoto doesn't want to be there.
明らかに俺が表に出てる時間が長くなってる。そのおかげで
Yeah.
俺という存在が安定してきてる。ちゃんと話せるのはそのせいじゃねえか。俺が怪物のままの方が良かったかもしれねえな。お、なんだよ。
思いのほか、お前が理知的な物言いをするもので驚い。
See, what also will like worry me when I'm deciding about forgive not forgive is this concept of this case, right? Like I feel like a lot of people were telling me about Imane, which is actually surprising. Like the commentary in Imane's music video and trial last time, like trial 2, a lot of people were very passionate about that subject about her. Just like, oh, like why would you blame her? It's like an upbringing and a cult and whatever. It's just like a lifestyle that she like that she's familiar with, and that's her fault. It's not her fault. Blah blah. I feel like my mentality when I'm deciding these verdicts and everything, I feel like I try to consider a lot of things. You know, like even for someone like Moo and even in the past like Futa, like I get it, right? There's a lot of things that happen before Milgram, and then even when I feel strongly passionate about like a certain thing, like there's something in the music video that piques my interest. I'm just like, now I feel bad. Like, do I really feel strongly about it? You know, like and the character drama and the voice drama, I'm just like, oh yeah, definitely out, definitely not forgive, blah blah. And I see the end, and I'm just like, oh okay, like you know, Futa's like pleading for mercy, blah blah. Like this person's emotionless, or oh my god, like there's something that happened at the end of Mahiru's thing. Like, you know, even if I feel strongly in the beginning, I feel like there's certain clips, there's certain comments, there's certain scenarios where I'm just like, oh, you'll have to rethink about this. I think that's why like I'm heavily considering, and now I am like gonna react to the interrogations at some point. Probably gonna be after Kotoko. Now that I just have this like, you know, I'm like pacing myself with all these like voice dramas. I do want to see that. Like maybe that would be like the last stretch of like, oh, you know, I'm like leaning towards this, but maybe I should consider this instead, right? I think Mikoto, like going back to Mikoto, I am a little worried about like how I'm gonna decide Mikoto, just because his case is very interesting, and I don't know how people would consider like forgiving and not forgiving him, just because it's okay that you're, you know, like, will I forgive you that you're giving up? Will I forgive you because you're having someone else take over and I should handle this someone else, and then you should just like, you know, disappear? Or like what would be this like the likely scenario when I forgive him or not forgive him? Like I feel like his personality is getting to the point where it's just the monster, right? Like this John alternative. So don't really know. I feel like I said in the beginning of the video, like Mikoto for me is such a wild card, just because I do not know how to consider him. You know, like what do we consider him as, right?
大卒だからな。多重人格はなぜ生まれるとされてんだ。
正確には乖離性同一性障害という。一般的には苦痛やストレス、トラウマなどから自分を守るためにもう一つの人格を生み、切り離しを図るとされているの。
うん。多分俺は僕の受けたストレスを解消するために出てきてる。俺が長く出てるってことは、それだけ僕が強いストレスを受け続けているわけだ。
Okay.
ストレス。ミラグラムの環境のことだな。
ああ、特に許さないという判決にな。僕は多大なストレスを感じ。
Okay, there it is. I think this is like the scenario I'm like thinking about, like I don't know, like 30 seconds ago. It's like one of those things where it's just like, man, like if I forgive him, what will be the thing, right? Oh, it's okay to like let out John, or like if I don't, you know, it's okay to let out John, kind of thing, right? Like it's similar to this one. Like now I'm like thinking about, oh, do I want to forgive him? Because like the reason why I was so passionately about not giving or like forgiving Amane is because of like kind of backing up the mentality of like, oh, I support your cult mentalities, or I support your doctrine, I support the murder just because it's not you, or it's not technically your idea, blah blah. And for this one, it's just like, even with the tendencies of violence and all of that stuff, like what would be like twisted for them to be like, because you know how like some people in Milgram, like when you forgave them, they kind of twisted it in a way where it's just like so absolute. I'm scared that like if I forgive Mikoto, it'll be twisted in the point of like, so you think the idea of John is good, and they're forgiving you because John is a good idea, blah blah. But like seeing this one is like completely the opposite. I mean, like it makes sense. I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't really think of it like that, where I'm thinking about more of like what the after decision is. I feel like I do need to think. I don't know. Like I don't know how people really think about decisions like that, but I feel like for me, I'm putting it in a decision based game type of way, right? Like, oh, like if I forgive you, like what would happen? I make up like a billion scenarios of what could happen, like looking at them right now, and like maybe like the first trial and the second trial, and then like deciding from that, and like maybe I'll consider the possible actions that might happen, or maybe like their ties with someone else in Milgram, similar to like Amu and Haruka type situation, or Kotoko and the entire cast kind of situation. I feel like I need to think about it as them as individuals, rather than like, oh, like I don't know. I feel like there's so many ways to think about this, and I feel like the video that will like kind of compile every verdict. I honestly have to think about it. I don't know if I have to revisit things. I don't know if I have to like reference like scenarios, or maybe I'll even get some help from people. I don't know, but it's interesting. I like theory crafting and thinking about this.
だから俺に預けるんだ心を。
なるほどな。
無理もね。本人からすりゃ自分に記憶のない罪で責められてんだ。
それが真実なら、実際に人殺しをしたのはお前か。
ああ、俺だ。俺がぶっ殺した。だから本当に僕はやってねえんだ。
なぜ殺したか聞いていいか。
むしゃくしゃして。
誰を殺した？
そこらへん歩いてたやつ。
何人殺した？
See, that also kind of like made me a little bit crazy. I knew, like, I think that was like the one mystery about Mikoto that I needed confirmation. It seemed like in the music video in the first trial, it just doesn't seem like they're closely related, right? Like I feel like every other person, maybe like Futa's like not one of them. I'm not really sure. Like they had some kind of connection, right, with the other person, like maybe a loved one or maybe like whatever. But like, Futa is like an internet thing. Kotoko is kind of like a vigilante thing. But there's still kind of a point to it. But then this one is more of like, oh, I know what I mean, but they're random people that I don't really care about. Like I could have like, there's like a lot of million things that he could have done to just avoid the situation, but he rather just kills them. So
記憶にね。俺はその時初めて生まれたもんでな、曖昧だ。
よくも悪びれずに言えたものだ。
法律で言うと、僕はどうなる？
精神鑑定で減刑される可能性もあるだろうが、殺した人数によっては死刑は免れない。
やったのは俺だ。僕は寝ていただけだ。
そんな都合よくいくものか。
僕の身にもなってやれよ。僕はただストレスに耐えていただけなんだぜ。一人でじっと耐えていたんだ。爆発するまで。誰かを傷つけようなんて考えてなかったんだよ。そういうことができないやつなんだ。
see, what surprises me right now is, John. I know that's such a basic name, but like John is kind of like pleading right now for Mikoto, even though like this entire time he just wanted to hurt people. Now that he kind of heard like the whole like death sentencing, like now that the loophole doesn't really matter and it can actually, it can actually be like, oh, psychiatric, whatever. And then he mentions death, like S mentions death penalty. It's just the stress. It's not my fault, like Mikoto is just stressed and I came out and I was just dealing with his problems.
誰かを傷つけようなんて考えてなかったんだよ。そういうことができないやつなんだ。気使って空気読みで周りの顔色を伺ってばっかで。そ そういうことができないから爆発しそうだったから俺が生まれたんだ。あんまりだろ。何もしてねえんだぞ僕は。
そうだったとして、Mikotoの意志ではなかったとして、人の命は失われている。中身がジョン、お前だったとして、それを証明する手立てはない。少なくとも裁判で完全に通ることはない。虚言だと判断されることだって。
I'm not gonna lie to you, that kind of scared me. That kind of scared me a little bit.
お前はどう思うんだ。
僕、
やったのは俺だ。僕はやってない。
I mean, see, that's the thing, right? Like, I feel like this entire case is so difficult to really judge at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong, like, he's right. I agree, completely agree with him. You can definitely see the personalities, like just looking at the prisoner, right? Like, in a microscope. At the same time, like, what would me forgiving you will really do to John and to Mikoto, right? Would Mikoto think that you forgave me even though it was John's fault? Like, I don't know. It's like one of those things where you get falsified, like, you know, like I falsely accuse Mikoto even though it's someone else, and then now they're traumatized, right? This case is just so like confusing. Not really confusing, I guess. Like I guess it's more like complicated than the typical other ones, right? Like the other 8 people that we just reviewed for trial 2. Like, I don't say they're straightforward because some of them are really confusing still. But then this one is just like I feel like I need a perspective of like someone in law, because like I mean S is kind of educating us, but for someone who's just like, I don't know, like I just read the like newspapers, I read like you know, like articles, I watch TikToks or whatever, like what would I consider this, right? I'm just kind of like a normal citizen, I guess, like just bystander or whatever.
お前はミルグラムによってそれを知っている。刑法なんてどうでもいい。お前はどう思うんだよ。僕を許してやってくれよ。やったのは俺なんだ。
It is really interesting. You know, I feel like in the beginning of this case, in this trial, didn't really feel passionately about forgiving or not forgiving Mikoto, just because it was such a complicated case. This kind of change of like personality and like the pleading, dude, I don't know if I'm just an empath, but it's just making me think like, I wonder if I should forgive him. I feel like he hasn't, other than like the first like minute of the conversation, he hasn't really been violent, emotionally accepting, I guess, and worried about his other side, right? Worried about Mikoto. I mean, maybe like the whole idea of John is just such a immature thing, because like he didn't really know the consequence that will happen. Actually, he didn't even care about the consequence to him, but now he's caring about the consequences to his like other part of the body, right? Which is Mikoto. I thought like the whole idea of John is just gonna be like an evil kind of entity within him, in which that, you know, is just trying to take over. But now that he realized that Mikoto might die, maybe that's the reason why he cares. Like, he actually does care about Mikoto, right?
すぐには判断できない。そう簡単に許すと判断できることではない。事実、Mikotoの心象風景はあまりに残虐なものだった。許さない。そう判断した。
それは多重人格がフェイクの可能性があるからだろ。僕は本当に悪くない。殺したのは俺だ。お前なら納得できんのか。朝起きたら人殺しになってるんだぜ。
お前を生み出したことが罪と言えるかもしれない。
多分俺は僕にとっての理想の自分だ。窮屈な理不尽やストレスに泣き寝入りしないやり返せる自分だ。俺という人格が生まれなきゃ僕はきっと限界が来て壊れてた。
ジョン、お前。
確かに全部ぶち壊してくれる存在を願ったのは僕だ。一人で立ち向かえなかった僕の弱さが原因かもしれない。でもそれだけだ。
I don't know why, like, this whole John Mikoto idea reminds me of Haruka in a way. Obviously, their upbringing is not the same. You know, John is basically like the limit that Haruka kind of reached, right? But obviously, other than the multiple personalities, it's just like how Haruka is. Like, I feel like Mikoto would have just like fallen apart and just maybe got depressed and maybe like KMS or whatever. But instead of that, he just developed this other personality that kind of just didn't give a didn't care, right?
それが罪か。
I don't know, like with all this conversation, I am heavily considering it. Like he's definitely in the middle, leaning towards forgive. And I don't know how that's gonna shape like my conversation with him in trial 3. I feel like everyone's just saying that trial 3 is gonna be like the best, or like, it's a lot of conclusions, a lot of just like, like everything is just clarified to me, and I'm honestly pretty excited about it. Like Mikoto is definitely one of those people that I'm like so confused about still.
お前と話して、俺がやったことが許されないことだというのは分かった。それには納得だ。
If you really think about it as well, this decision is not for John, right? Like you said, like S said in the beginning of this trial or in this voice drama, and honestly, even in trial 1, at the end of it, like I feel like this whole like forgive not forgive thing doesn't really work on John, or at least like it doesn't really care about it. I feel like like at least I had to consider for Mikoto, because I feel like the rules of Milgram doesn't really count for John, right? Obviously they share the same body, but I feel like I have to do it for Mikoto, and Mikoto does deserve forgiveness in my opinion.
そうだな。
ミルグラムの判断対象は僕。
Oh my god, he's gotta say it.
いいことだな。俺、つまりジョンではね。
その通りだ。
僕を許してやってくれ。そうでなければ、僕はきっともう耐えられねえ。
別の人格が起こした罪は罪ではない。そう。
See, I don't think that's what S is saying right now. I get it, but like it is a sin. But then I feel like if you're gonna punish someone that's not like that's the one that's aware, which is John right now. Like I just feel bad for Mikoto, right? He's just kind of just like caught in the middle. Like I don't know, like there's just a breaking point as a kid that he reached that kind of had this personality being grown, and I feel bad. Like, I wonder what kind of environment he was grown in.
判断しろと言いたいんだな。
ああ、僕を許してくれるなら、俺は消えてやる。そう、最終的に俺はいなくならなきゃならない。全部引き受けていなくなる。
I also don't know why this is such a like deal. Like I feel like he's making a deal with me, which is crazy, right? It's like a hostage situation, which I don't know if a lot of the community is gonna appreciate that. But at the same time, I do feel like the community wants to see Mikoto alone and not like Mikoto and John, That he's like so anxious about John taking over again. It could also be a lie, who knows,
僕を守るために生まれたんだから。
そのために生まれた。
ああ、僕を守るためだったら、俺は何でもやるんだぜ。
Surprisingly, I do believe him though. I mean, why else would a personality be created, right? I mean, who knows, but...
何？犬の名前？
ミコト。
カンシ君、犬飼ってんの？犬種何？あ、いや待って、当てさせて。トイプー？いや、意外とブサカワっぽいのが好きかも。フレブルとか。
違
う。じゃあパグ？
犬の名前じゃない。
じゃあ何よ？
お前の友の名前だ。
そんな人知らないよ。
そうだろうな。囚人番号9番ミコト。お前の罪を訴え。
All right. All right. I don't really have thoughts. I feel like I talked a lot in between like the voice dramas. This is going to be Mikoto's second music video. It's called Double. All right, let's hear it. Wait. It's just making me. Oh my god! Sorry for pausing, but like, I know it's difficult, right? Like, we never really know if John is going to be gaslighting us or just like trolling us or whatever. I do know the whole point. I do agree, and I believe when he said that he's doing this for Mikoto and protecting him. Like, what would one forgiveness really do for Mikoto? I think that's the only my gripe about like whatever he said. It's just like, are you sure you're telling the truth, right? Holy. Also, the one thing that pissed me off when what he said is that, oh yeah, I just beat him up just because they're a little annoying. Like what is annoying, right? Is that like, oh, they're harassing me even though I'm not doing anything, so I beat him up, like I killed him. I I feel like that's something else. Like, I feel like if there's something else that happened, right? Like, oh, I was protecting this dog, or like they were like harassing this woman or whatever, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know what he meant by annoyed. Oh. I don't have a lot of feelings about this one. I feel like, just because I feel like I've already talked about it, I am leaning towards forgiving Mikoto. I'm a little scared about that. I mean, if you think about it, the other cases have some kind of complication at some point, right? I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, when I was like talking about Mahiru, and at the end of Mahiru, kind of, I was so passionate about like forgiving her, and I saw certain scenarios that made me double think. I still don't know what I'm gonna like decide on her, but like, at least for Mikoto, I kind of want to see the other side. I honestly just don't know how it'll shape, because I still think that John is lying, to be honest with you. Is Mikoto likable? Is he one of my favorite characters? Not really. But at the same time, like, I do want to see his side. I don't want to see John. Okay, I don't want to see John. But even then, like, the trial to Mikoto is pretty interesting. I actually liked how civil it was, after like 2 minutes in, and how there's a side of Mikoto, at least like of John, that is very protective of Mikoto. So anyways, thank you for her being patient. I know that took like a couple of weeks, but Yeah, I will probably do Kotoko's sooner than you think. So, all right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.